Hello and welcome everyone for another tutorial of bead bag making. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also turn on your notifications for any new video that I'll be uploading so you don't miss on any. I appreciate all of you for your love and support. So the bead we are going to use today is in size 8mm. I have two colors over here, black and pink, but you can use your own choice of colors. This is the pink one, and also this is the black one that I'll be using. Both are in 8mm. This is my fishing line, 50 pound, and a little cutter, or if you have scissors, anything to cut your line. This is the thickness of the line. This is how it's looking like. This is the thickness. So let's get started. I'm going to start with 4. So we are going to start with 4 beads. And I'm going to string all these 4 beads on my line. Like this. Then I'm going to hold one and cross my line into the last one and pull. This is a simple right angle we are going to use, okay? So this is how it's looking like. I'm going to put one bead on my line, each line like this. Then I'm going to cross into this one, the third one, because they are sharing one in common. We'll continue to add 3, 3, 3 to it, like this. Pull. Now I'm going to add one bead on my line again. One bead, like this. And I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the third one. Cross into the third one. Cross and pull it down. We are going to repeat this one more time. This is how it's looking like. This is how the weave is looking like. We are going to repeat again, one bead on each line. I'm going to cross into the third one like this. I'm going to cross into the third one and pull. Now we have 4. Now we have 4 flowers. If you count it, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are going to go ahead and make 11. And this is the 11 that I made. We are going to turn on this 11 to make 12. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we are going to add one more. So I put all 3 on my right line. Then I'm going to cross my left line into the last bead and pull. That way my line can turn on the side, so we can start another row. And we start the second row. Okay, I'm going to flip it over to my side like this. Then we start the second row. So on my left line I add 3 beads, all 3 beads to my line. That will be the left line. This line into the next bead. Add 2 beads to your line, cross and pull. I'm going to go into the next bead. Pull your line through the next bead, add 2 beads to your line. Cross and pull into the next bead. 2 beads. So as you can see, my right line is going through the bead and I'm adding the 2 bead on my left line. So I'm going into the next bead and I'll be adding 2 beads to my left line. We are going to continue to the end. Now I'm about to complete this row. So I'm going to the next bead and I'm adding 2 beads to my line. This line into the next bead. This is the last bead at the end. I'm going through it, and the same line that I used to pull, this line, I'm adding 2 beads to it. Cross and pull. Now my line turn on the side again. We are going to start another row. 1, 2. We are going to start the third row. Okay, so I add all 3 beads on my line, cross and pull. I'm going to go into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. Into the next bead again, 2 beads. Go into the next bead, 2 bead. I'm going to pull my line again to the next bead. This is what we'll be repeating on this row too. The same we did for the second row, we are going to repeat the same thing on the third row. This is how the weave is looking like. So weave to the end. I'm about to complete this row 2 into the last bead, this one. I'm going to pull my line through the last bead over here, and the same line I'm adding 2 beads to it. So my line can turn again on the side, so we can start the 4th row like this. Now again, I'm going to start with 3 beads. I add all 3 beads to my left line, cross and pull. Now into the next bead, add 2 beads. I'm going to go into the next bead, and I'll add 2 beads. This is how the weave is looking like. Very simple right angle weave. That's what we are making over here. Okay, we are going to continue and complete 10 and make 5 rows. So we are going to 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, we are going to make 5 rows together. 2 3 4 5. So complete this row, you complete 10 and make the 5th row. So this is mine, and I complete my 5th row already. So we are going to, this is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, 5 rows. I'm going to go into this bead, the corner bead over here, and I'm adding 1 pink and 2 black. It's a little simple design I want to make. So I'm going to go into the next bead, and I'll add 2 beads. I'm going to go into the next bead. So now I'm going to continue with pink bead. So I put 1 black and 1 pink, so I can start with the pink bead. Now I'm going to go into the next bead, this bead. I add 2 pink. Into the next, 2 pink. Into the next bead, I add 2 pink to my line. So this is just a simple pattern I'm going to repeat. I start with black, now I'm pink, now I'm going to continue again with black bead. I'm going through my next bead and I add 2 black. So this is the pattern I'm going to repeat all around this shape. Okay, now into the next bead, 1 black and 1 pink. Then I start another pink again. I'm going to put pink over here. Please feel free to use your own choice of colors of bead to make the bag. So what I'm going to do on the side, I'm going to weave pink on the side, both sides of the bag. I'm going to put pink bead on the side, like this, cross and pull. Now this line into the next bead. Just go right into the corner bead, the next bead, and continue adding your 2 2 2 bead. So both sides of the bag is going to be pink bead. Okay, I'm going to add pink on the side of the bag. Over here, I'm going to start with pink. I'm going to start. I'm going to go into the next bead. Then I'll add my 2 pink. You can decide to use your own colors of bead over here, like green, whatever you like, you prefer to use. So I go into the next bead and I'm adding 2 bead. Into the next, 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. Now I'm going to start again with black bead. Black. Into the next bead, 2 black bead. I'm going to go into the next bead and add 1 black and 1 pink. Then I start the pattern again. 2 bead. This is how it's looking like. So we are going to repeat whatever we have on this side. We are going to repeat the same thing over here, and the side is going to be pink. That's what we are going to do all around the shape. Continue to do yours and I'll meet you right back here. So now I'm going into 1, 2. This is the last bead. I'm going to pull my line through. Then I'm going to go into the side bead. That way my line can step up. Over here I'm showing you how to step up, then you build on this one. So I need only 1 bead to complete this row. That way my line can come up so I can start a new row. Now I'm starting with 3 bead. Into the next bead. Now we are just going to stack the colors of bead on each other. I'm starting with black bead. So over here I'm just going to add the bead on the top of each colors. So wherever there is pink, I'm going to put pink. Where is black, I'm going to add black to it. So here I'm doing black and I'm going to continue into my pink, stack pink on pink, and that is how I'm going to repeat all around this shape. I'm going to this pink bead over here and I'm going to add 2 pink. I'm going to go into the next, add 2 pink. Just going to continue and go ahead and weave around this shape and stack the bead. This is how it's looking. I'm going to go round this shape, and I'm going to show you in this second row how you are going to step up again to start your tail row. Okay, now I'm in my last bead over here, so I want my line to come up. So I'm going to go through this bead over here and the bead on the side. That way my line can come up so I can start a new row like this. The number of bead I need, only 1 bead to complete this row. This is how it's looking like. So we are going to start again. I'm starting with 3 bead, then I will continue with 2, 2, 2. Then you go into each bead and add 2, 2 bead around the shape. And if you're done, this is what you have. So I make 4 rows in all. This is pink here and the pattern black and pink. I put all pink on the side. That is how I make the pattern. Okay, this is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. So we are going to continue again an opposite way. We are going to change the pattern again. I'm going to go into the black, then I'm going to build pink on top of the black. Okay, I'm going to change it, the colors again. So now pink go on top of black, and I'm going to, wherever pink is, I'm going to build black on top of the pink. So now I'm starting with pink. Now I'm going to enter into the pink and start with black. We are going to change the color. We are going to do the opposite of the first we did. So now where there is pink, I'm starting with black again. Into the next bead, 2 bead. I'm going to continue into the next bead, 2 bead. Into the next bead again, 2 bead. I'm going to go into the black, then now start adding pink on the black. I'm adding pink bead. So this is all we are going to repeat at this stage. We are going to go ahead and build on this with our colors. Build it high. So we are going to make 4 rows in all. I'm going to make 4 rows, and after 4 rows I'm going to use 1 row of pink bead on the edge round. I add 2. This is how it's looking. I'm going to go round and complete. So I'm adding one pink bead around the edge of the bag like this. This is how the pattern is looking like. Very, very beautiful. Simple one. Very beautiful. Look at how beautiful this design looks already. Very pretty, very beautiful. This is a simple design everybody can make. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and complete my. Look at how beautiful it turned out to look. Please take your time to make yours. It looks so beautiful. If you complete this, this is exactly what you have. So this is black. In all, we make 9 rows. Okay, this is the pink I'm using on the edge round. Okay, and it makes it 9 rows in all. So we are going to continue. I'm going to continue over here to complete my pink around the edge, and I will show you how we are going to make the handle on it. So now that I'm about to complete, I'm going to go through the middle bead and the side bead. The number of bead I need is 1 bead to complete this row. So over here, I'm just going to add my last bead and then weave the rest of the line into the bead before I trim it off. That way I know my line is well secured enough before I trim it. This is how it's looking like. This is how the bag is looking like. This is the structure of the bag. Now we are going to add handle on the side. With the handle, I'm going to show you how to make a cubic right angle weave on the side to make the handle. So 1, 2, 3 in the middle. We are going to trace that and then pull our line through. That's what we are going to use. I'm going to pull my line through. So I'm going to start with this bead. I'm going to pull my line through this bead. This is 1 into the second and the third. Okay, so I pull my line through all those 3 beads over there. Then I'm going to come up 1 bead. I'm not going to add bead right away, so I'm going to go through this bead. I'm going to pull my line through this bead up. I'm going to pull the other line through this bead. Okay, this bead right here, this one. I'm going to pull my line up. Then I'm going to add 1 bead, cross both ends of my line and pull. If you pull, the side is going to give it a shape like this. Very beautiful. Then I'm going to come up with my line again into this bead and this one. So I'm going to pull my line up. And now I'm going to hold the other line, the opposite one, this line, into the next bead, this one, up, okay, this one. I'm going to pull my line through it and pull it up, like this. So now I'm going to take 1 bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull, like this. Now pull. As you pull, see, as I pull, just tug it a little bit, and this is how the side is going to look like. The side takes shape already, and now we are going to weave the handle on the bag, okay, using the cubic right angle weave. That's what we are going to use. So now what we are going to do, we are going to work on these 4, okay, this top 4 bead over here. That's what we are going to work with. And now my line is in 1 bead already. This top 4 bead, that's what we are going to work with. I'm going to add 3 beads to my line. Then I'm going to cross and pull like this. I'm going to go into the next bead. those top 4 beads, that's what we are using. So I'm going to go through this one, that is the next bead. Then I'm adding 2 beads to my line. Cross and pull. I'm going to pull my line into the next bead, this one. Then I'm adding 2 beads to my line. I'm going to cross and pull. Then I'm going to go into the last one. I'm going to go into the last bead, and the one on the side. Now my line come up. Then I'm going to add 1 bead, cross both ends of my line and pull like this. Now we are going to work with the top 4 again, okay? I'm starting with 3, cross and pull into the next bead. I'm going to go into the next bead. Two bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. Now I'm going to go into the next and the bead on the side, this one. That way our line come up, then we can start a new row. Cross and pull. And we are going to work with the top 4, 3 beads starting. We are going to go into the next, 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. I'm going to go into the next and the side bead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side too. So I'm taking 1 bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull. Now I'm going to weave the rest of this line into the bead, okay? Now the second side, let me cast some line and let's continue. We are going to work with the 3 bead, the same thing we did on the other side. I'm going to pull my line through 1, 2, 3. So I'm pulling my line through all these 3 beads. And now I'm coming 1 bead up, okay? I'm going to come 1 bead up. And this one, opposite one, I'm going to pull it up 1 bead. So now I'm going to take 1 bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull. Then I'm going to go up again into the next bead and do the same to the opposite side. Take another bead, cross both ends into it and pull. So now again, we are going to work with this 4 bead and we are going to make it long to connect to the other side. That's what we are going to do. I'm going to start with 3 bead, cross and pull. I'm going to go into the next bead, into the next. I'm adding 2 bead to my line. Into the next, 2 bead. I'm going to go into the next bead, then the bead on the side. I'm going to take 1 bead and cross my line into it and pull like this. We are going to work again, start with 3 bead. Now into the next bead, 2 bead. Into the middle and the side bead. I'm going to pull my line through this last bead over here in the middle, then the one on the side over here. That's what I'm pulling my line through. Take 1 bead, cross both ends of your line into it and pull. Start again with 3 bead. Into the next bead, add 2 bead, 2 bead. Into the next bead, this one, pull your line and add 2 bead to your line. Now I'm going to go again and step up. Go to the middle and the side bead and bring your line up. 3 bead. Start with 3, cross and pull. I'm going to go into the next, add 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. I'm going to go to the middle and the side bead. So we are just going to continue to make it long and connect to the other side. This is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful already. And here I'm done with mine. I'm going to connect with this one, okay? So this is where my line is, okay, in this bead. I'm going to hold it together like this. But first, I'm going to add 1 bead to my line. I'm going to add 1 bead to my line. Then I'm going to go through the next bead. Like this. Then I'm going to pick up 1 bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull. I'm going to turn it like this. I'm going to go to this and this bead. These 2 bead, this is 1, and on the other side, hold the other line and go through it. I'm taking 1 bead, cross both ends of my line and pull. Then I'm going to go into the next bead. This bead over here, okay? I'm going through this bead. I want it to show clearly. I'm going to take 1 bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull. Then now I'm just going to weave my line back into the bead. Make sure it's tightened and well secured enough before I trim it off. So weave back into the bead, make sure it's well secured enough, okay? This is how it's looking like. Very pretty, very vibrant. The colors are bold and beautiful. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a flap on the bag. So I'm going to start with this 8 bead. I'm going to use this 8 bead to make the flap, okay? I'm going through this bead. I'm going to this one, this bead over here. I'm going to pull my line through that bead and I'm starting with 3 bead. I'm going to cross and pull. Now into the next bead. I'll be adding 2 bead to my line. The same technique we used to weave, that's what we continue to use over here. 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. We are going to go into each bead and add 2 bead to our line. Into the next bead, I add 2 bead. Okay, I'm adding 2 bead. When I pull my line through the bead, I add 2 bead to my left line. Into the next bead, I add 2 bead to the same line I pulled through the bead, so my line turn on the side so I can start the second row. On the same line, I add 3 bead to it. Now I'm going to weave back. I'm pulling my line through the next bead and I add 2 bead. We are going to use the same technique to complete this row and start another row. So we are going to make 5 rows in all. I'm going to pull my line through 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. Into the next bead, add 2 bead. This is all we are going to use. Now I'm going to go through the last bead and turn and start another row again. So I add 2 bead to the line. 3 bead. I'm starting a new row. So now we are completing this 3rd row. And we are going to complete this one, make 4th row and the 5th row. Okay, now we're done with our flap. This is 5 rows that I made, and when you're done, this is how it's going to look like. Very, very pretty bag, very beautiful. Look at how it looks like. Very simple bag. I make a loop around this bead with clear bead so you can hook your chain on it. Very, very beautiful. I have a chain right here. This is the chain that I have. It's not so long, but if you have a chain, you can hook it on both sides so that you can use it as a shoulder bag. It's very, very beautiful. So this one too, I'm going to hook it on the other side. Now we complete our bag, and this is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. So get your bead and the colors that you like to make one for yourself. I thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and also turn on your notifications for any new videos that I'll be uploading. Let me measure it for you to see. Here is 5.5 wide, 5.5 inches wide, and the length is about 6.5 inches. This is 6.5. Thank you for watching, and I thank you also for your support. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.